CEO rejects Elon Musk's idea as a joke. Minutes later, he regrets it. Elon sat in the dimly lit conference room, his sharp blue eyes scanning the faces of the CEOs seated around the long mahogany table. He had been invited as a guest to pitch his latest vision, something he believed could redefine the future of transportation. As he began speaking, the room fell silent. "Imagine," he started, his voice steady yet passionate, "a network of underground tunnels that can transport vehicles at unimaginable speeds, reducing traffic congestion to zero." The CEOs exchanged skeptical glances. One of them, an older man in a tailored suit with an air of arrogance, chuckled under his breath. "Tunnels? Seriously? That's your big idea?" he said, smirking. The room erupted in laughter. Elon's expression didn't waver, but there was a flicker of something in his eyes. Resolve. "Every revolutionary idea sounds ridiculous before it becomes inevitable," Elon replied calmly. The laughter faded slightly as the room's attention shifted back to him, but the CEO wasn't done mocking him. "We're here to talk about real solutions, not science fiction. Tunnels are a logistical nightmare and a financial black hole. You'd be better off focusing on your rockets, Musk," he said dismissively. Elon leaned back in his chair, a slight smile playing on his lips. "You think it's impossible? That's what they said about electric cars and reusable rockets too," he said, his voice calm but loaded with conviction. "Give me 5 minutes and I'll show you why you're wrong." The CEO waved his hand dismissively. "No need. Meeting adjourned." He stood, signaling the end of the conversation. Elon remained seated, his fingers tapping lightly on the table. As the executives filed out of the room, he glanced at his watch, a plan already forming in his mind. Elon stepped out of the building into the bustling street, the city alive with noise and motion. His mind was racing, but his expression remained calm. He had faced rejection before, and each time, it had only fueled his determination. Pulling out his phone, he called his assistant. "Get me everything we have on the downtown bottleneck project, and find me a construction firm that can work quietly and quickly," he instructed. That evening, while the CEOs likely celebrated their victory over drinks, Elon was huddled in a small office with a group of engineers. The plans for his underground transportation system, a project he had tentatively named the Boring Company, were laid out on the table. His engineers listened as he outlined his vision with relentless energy. "I don't need their approval," Elon said, his voice firm. "We're starting small, a single tunnel, a single route. Something functional, something that works. And then we'll scale up. They'll see the results for themselves before they even realize what's happening." One of the younger engineers hesitated. "But sir, without public backing or government funding, how do we—" Elon interrupted, his tone sharp but not unkind. "We innovate, we adapt, and we make it happen. If they can't see the vision, we'll show it to them in action." The next morning, while the city awoke to its usual gridlock, Elon was already on site at a secluded location on the outskirts of the city. A small team of workers and engineers began assembling equipment. The secrecy was intentional. Elon wanted to deliver results, not promises. By the end of the week, the first section of the tunnel was already under construction. The team worked tirelessly, driven by Elon's relentless energy and clear direction. Each obstacle was met with a solution, each delay with an alternative plan. What the skeptical CEO didn't know was that Elon wasn't just building a tunnel. He was orchestrating a revolution in transportation. 2 weeks later, the CEO sat comfortably in his corner office, glancing over the city skyline. His rejection of Elon Musk's proposal was a decision he felt proud of. "Wild ideas don't make good investments," he muttered to himself, sipping his coffee. But something odd was happening. Rumors were circulating among city officials and industry insiders about an underground project. Whispers of Elon Musk's involvement surfaced, though no one could confirm the details. A few social media posts showed mysterious activity near the outskirts of the city, large equipment being delivered under the cover of night. workers moving with purpose, but no signs or logos to indicate who was behind it. The CEO dismissed it all as speculation until one morning, a breaking news report flashed across his television. Elon Musk's secret project unveiled, the headline read. The footage showed Elon standing in front of what looked like a sleek underground station. A small crowd of journalists and city officials gathered around him. Today, Elon began, we're launching the pilot of a new transportation system, a solution to urban gridlock. It's not a theory anymore, it's here. The camera cut to the tunnel, a marvel of engineering. Compact vehicles designed to carry passengers at high speeds zipped through the underground system, a seamless blend of efficiency and futuristic design. The CEO's face turned pale. This wasn't just an idea anymore, it was reality, and Elon had done it without him. Grabbing his phone, the CEO frantically called his assistant. Get me the details on Musk's project, everything. I need a meeting with him immediately. But Elon was already steps ahead. At the press conference, a journalist asked, Mr. Musk, are you open to partnerships for expanding this system? Elon's response was sharp but laced with subtle humor. Partnerships? Sure, I'm always open to them. But let's just say, it's easier to move forward when everyone's on board from the start. The CEO's regret was palpable, even from miles away. What he dismissed as a joke was now the city's greatest innovation, and he wasn't a part of it. The CEO didn't waste a moment. Within hours, he managed to secure a meeting with one of Elon's senior engineers, hoping to negotiate his way into the project. But the engineer's polite but firm demeanor left no room for compromise. Elon made it clear, she said, her voice steady. We approached your company in good faith. The decision was yours. Now, this project is fully funded, and the team is committed to moving forward without external interference. The CEO clenched his fists under the table, swallowing his frustration. This isn't just about funding or partnerships, he countered. We have resources and connections that could scale this globally. Don't let pride get in the way of something revolutionary. The CEO watched helplessly as Elon's name dominated the headlines. His rivals were thriving, their stock prices soaring, while his own company's growth had stagnated. The board of directors, once loyal to his leadership, began whispering about his inability to recognize and seize transformative opportunities. At an internal meeting, one of the board members didn't hold back. We could have been part of this, but you dismissed it as a joke. Now we're playing catch-up in a race we're already losing. The CEO's face darkened, but he said nothing. The weight of their judgment sat heavily on his shoulders. Privately, he made the decision to redeem himself, no matter the cost. In an uncharacteristic move, the CEO reached out to Elon directly. He sent a letter, handwritten, a gesture meant to stand out among the noise. In it, he admitted his mistake and acknowledged Elon's genius. I underestimated you, the letter read. More importantly, I underestimated the power of ideas that challenge convention. I'd like to find a way to collaborate, if you'll allow it. Days passed with no response. Then, just as he was about to give up hope, an email arrived. It wasn't from Elon himself, but from his assistant. Elon appreciates your letter, it read. He believes in the importance of second chances, but not all doors can reopen. He suggests you use this moment to innovate within your own company and create something that aligns with the values you now see clearly. The CEO's chest tightened. It wasn't the outcome he had hoped for, but it was a challenge, a call to action. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of determination not driven by profit or reputation, but by the desire to create something meaningful. The story, however, didn't end there. Just when the CEO thought he was closing the chapter, fate intervened. A major flaw was discovered in one of Elon's system components, a critical vulnerability that could halt the project in its tracks. The CEO saw the news and froze. This was his moment, but would he use it to regain leverage or to do something truly extraordinary? The CEO sat in his office, staring at the breaking news on his screen. Elon Musk's revolutionary transportation system, lauded as the future of urban mobility, was facing a critical flaw in its design, a vulnerability that could endanger millions of users. The media frenzy was relentless, with analysts speculating whether this marked the beginning of Elon's downfall. For a brief moment, the CEO considered the obvious path, exploiting the situation to regain his position in the market. He had the resources, the expertise, and the connections to capitalize on Elon's misstep. A part of him relished the thought of turning the tables. But then, he remembered Elon's words from the email: "Use this moment to innovate and align with values you now see clearly." A strange sense of clarity washed over him. Instead of competing, he realized this was an opportunity to collaborate for the greater good. The flaw in Elon's system wasn't just his problem, it was a challenge to the very innovation that promised to revolutionize transportation for everyone. Acting swiftly, the CEO assembled his top engineers. He laid out the issue in Elon's system, as detailed in the public reports, and tasked his team to find a solution. "This isn't about us versus them anymore," he told them. "This is about proving that technology can unite us, not divide us." Within days, his team developed a groundbreaking fix, one that not only addressed the vulnerability, but improved the system's efficiency. Instead of keeping it under wraps, the CEO personally called Elon. Elon's voice on the other end was calm but guarded. "I didn't expect to hear from you. I didn't expect to make this call," the CEO admitted, "but I have something you need. My team has solved your system's flaw. I'm sending over the data now." There was a pause. Then Elon's voice softened. "Why are you doing this?" "Because I made a mistake," the CEO replied, "and because the world needs this to work more than I need to win." The next day, Elon Musk publicly acknowledged the CEO's contribution in a global press conference. "Innovation isn't a solitary act," Elon said. "It's a collective effort, and sometimes it takes unexpected allies to make the impossible possible." The CEO watched the conference from his office. For the first time in years, he felt something he hadn't expected: pride, not in his company but in himself. He had chosen the harder path, and in doing so, rediscovered what it meant to truly lead. The collaboration between the two companies sparked a new era in technology, proving that even the fiercest competitors could come together for a greater purpose. The CEO no longer lived in the shadow of regret, but in the light of redemption, knowing that sometimes the boldest ideas are the ones that unite us all.